So we got to talk about a fascinating clip featuring Touré, who is
morally Touré should be his new name. Democratic Touré should be his name. WHORE. Democratic Touré.
Calling them N-words. Okay,
the E with
white liberals
WHORE.
N-words, right? This black liberal
Democratic Touré should be this bloke's new name. He's a puppet
Touré, who is responding
of the Democratic Party.
Clips of white liberals calling. So yes, it is. Who is responding to the viral clips of white liberals calling ICE agents black.
You suck, Touré. You suck.
You suck. The viral clips of white liberals calling ICE agents, black ICE agents, who are simply doing their jobs, right, protecting this country, defending the homeland, right, calling them N-words.
For no good reason.
Doing their jobs. Okay? White liberals calling black ICE officers
House ninjas.
N-words, right?
Or
this black liberal is going to
not ninjas, NIGGERS, or NIGGER. The hearts are this white dude, the white anti-ICE protester, who's a male, called a black ICE agent. House NIGGER, bro. Crazy.
House N-word.
Crazy.
Simply because they work for ICE.
Yep.
Right? AKA,
that's crazy. Just because he works for ICE. Not because he's doing anything.
That's what he actually really means, right?
That is simpy of ICE or
a lot of backlash on the internet for basically saying that white people get an N-word pass
or a puppety.
They're using it to call guys get a whole lot of backlash.
Rightfully so. Touré, Democratic Touré is getting a lot of backlash.
ICE agents house N-words simply because they work for ICE, right? AKA simply because they are going against the Democrat Party agenda.
Yep. They don't simp for the Democratic Party.
That's what he actually really means. And I
yep.
want to talk about
yes.
This guy
BCP's
is
cooking.
A whole lot of backlash on the internet.
Rightfully so.
Basically saying that white people get an N-word pass if they're using it to call black
political dissidents who are black
house
in ICE.
Take a look.
Unpopular opinion and make.
That's crazy.
Person the N-word. And I'm actually quite disgusted that there will never be a moment in this day and this time where I will ever excuse a white person calling a black person the N-word. And I'm actually quite disgusted that I was.
Context does matter. If a white person is saying the N-words in a non-derogative way, it is okay. This is America. People can say the words. This doesn't mean there's immunity to consequences or immunity to criticism, but non-black people, all races of people can say the N-words. They can say whatever slur they want to say. Historically derogative term they want to say. But the N-words isn't always used in a derogative way. It can be. Certain people of all races use it in a positive way. When they say N-words, they're not dehumanizing black people. They're when they say N-words, they mean friends, homie, bro. Yeah. Words that are synonymous to those words. Yeah. Bro, homie, brother, friend, pal. Yeah. Context does matter. Indubitably, but I get what she's saying.
See this video during Black History Month from person the N-word. And I'm actually quite disgusted that I would see this video during Black History Month from a black person.
99.9% of the time, it is wrong for a white person to call a black person the N-word.
History Month from a black person.
99.9% of the time.
The fact that you're trying to person the N-word. And I'm actually quite disgusted that I would see this video during Black History Month from a Black person.
99.9% of the time, it is wrong for a white person to call a black person the N-word, but we may have found the exception. In Minneapolis recently, a white anti-ICE protester was in a group of anti-ICE protesters yelling at a black ICE Gestapo agent.
It is crazy to say the G words to compare ICE to the Nazi regime. It is crazy to compare ICE.
You cannot be anti-ICE and anti-black.
An organization that has the intention of detaining and deporting true undocumented people, truly undocumented people, true illegal aliens, people who didn't go through the legal process to be in this country. Bro, to say they're the Nazi regime is crazy, bro. Their goal isn't to eradicate whole groups of people because of the groups they belong to. No. There are bad people in ICE. Don't get it twisted. There are bad people of all races in ICE. Please don't get this misconstrued. But to compare ICE to the Nazi regime, that regime had the goal of extirpating a whole group of people for the group they belonged to. Their intention was to eradicate the entirety of the Jewish population, bro. Two different things. The people saying the G words, the people saying GESTAPO, the people saying Nazi thugs, they have to chill. They're bugging. They are radicals, radical lefties, radical anti-ICE people, radical anti-MAGA people. They're bro. They are disgraceful, really. It is a shame all the way. F those people who shamelessly compare ICE to a regime that had the intention of eliminating a whole group of people, including innocent people, for the group they belonged to, for immutable traits. F those people. They suck.
Black person the N-word, but we may have found the exception. In Minneapolis recently, a white anti-ICE protester was in a group of anti-ICE protesters yelling at a black ICE Gestapo agent. An unidentified white male called the
To
black
say
ICE
Gestapo
agent
is crazy.
a house N-word who's working for the KKK.
You cannot be anti-ICE and
To compare ICE to the KKK is crazy too. The KKK was targeting people for their race, killing people for their race, for the race they belonged to, killing black people for being black. They killed black people for being black. ICE is different. To compare the two is crazy.
An unidentified white male called the black ICE agent a house N-word who's working for the KKK.
You cannot be anti-ICE and anti-black. Let me repeat that for the people in the back. You cannot be anti-ICE and anti-black. And Touré, as a black person and as a journalist, you have now created a frenzy of people in your comments.
He's a hypocrite. He's contradictory. He is very contradictory.
3 to 5 million members of the KKK, meaning that this white man is directly and intimately tied through. You know that by the 1920s, there were nearly 3 to 5 million members of the KKK, meaning that this white man is directly and intimately tied through lineage to the tyranny enacted on your people. In addition to the fact that so many of you are contextually using house N-word outside of the line. Historically, the enslaved that were held inside of the home were often faced with the most intimate physical and sexual violence while being under a 24-hour revolving door of surveillance.
Touré! Good morning, man.
We will skip to BCP's analysis.
Light-skinned black.
How do I earn more money on my money?
Boy, don't lie, right?
With SoFi checking and savings, you can score one of the best APYs in the league.
It doesn't miss.
Join the official bank of the NBA.
The sun is dying.
You'll find a solution.
You are my solution.
Touré is one of the wokest people alive, yo. One of the most disgraceful people alive. He professes to be against hate, but he engages in hate. He's one of the biggest perpetrators of hate. This makes this dude
Yep, we all
a
have
cornball.
that one-day idea.
A cornball, yo, all the way.
Make a move, then let success follow you. Ostinger, turn one day into day one.
He's a puppet of the left. A simp.
Diagnosed with Crohn's disease and struggling with your symptoms, it's not too soon
He's
to talk
a
to your
traitor.
doctor about Entyvio for moderate to severe Crohn's and learn about the results you need, including rapid symptom
He
relief
loves to
and
call black conservatives, black MAGA people traitor. He loves to call black MAGA people traitors when he's engaging in real traitorism by saying it is justifiable for white lips to call black ICE agents house in because they politically disagree. Craziness, bro. All the way. Crappiness, crudiness, crumminess. F you, political, meant to say F you, Democratic hooray. F you, Democratic hooray.
Got a light-skinned black.
Yeah, so you say that, you heard that. Now, Touré is going to respond to the backlash, okay? And I'm going to chime in with my opinion on
F you,
the situation,
Touré.
because I think that at the very least it exposes the hypocrisy
Yep.
of these black liberals who, boo-hoo, whine, and cry
These
about the
wokies.
N-word
The
in any other
super
circumstance.
wokies.
The
The black super wokies. The black tyrants. The black zealots. The black dogmatists.
But I think it also
The
shows
black
you who are real
radicals.
sellouts, right? When you talk to black ICE agents, it's okay for white people to use the, who want to cry about the N-word in any other circumstance. But apparently, when it comes,
They cry
I
racism.
think that at the very least,
They think everything is racism. These goofy people on the left.
In any other circumstance. But apparently, when it comes to black ICE agents, it's okay for white people to use the N-word. Again, I find that to be very hypocritical.
Trash.
But
Agreed.
I think it also shows you who are the real sellouts.
Yes.
Right? When
Yes.
it comes to black ICE agents, it's okay for white people to use the N-word. Again, I find that to be very hypocritical. But I think it also shows this situation, because I think
The
that at the very least, it
inconsistency
exposes
is
the
crazy.
hypocrisy
The
of these
inconsistency
black liberals
is
who
crazy.
whine and cry about the N-word in any other circumstance.
Super crazy psychosis partner. Super crazy psychosis partner. Bars. 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 Bizarres. Bars.
Talk about who's selling out. People whine and cry about the N-word in any other circumstance. But apparently, when it comes to black ICE agents, it's okay for white people to use the N-word. Again, I find that to be very hypocritical.
Yeah, word.
But I think it also shows you who are the real sellouts, right? When you talk about who's selling
Don't get
out
it
the black
twisted.
community.
There are real COONS in the black MAGA community. Yes, there certain black people in the MAGA community circle group are COONS. Yes, but to say all black MAGA people are COONS with no evidence is crazy, bro. Yeah. Just because a black person politically disagrees with you, this doesn't mean he or she is automatically a COON or a traitor or a Negropean or someone who has or someone who is self-hating or someone who is self-loathing. Miss me with the nonsense. Please miss me with the BS, the drivel, the hogwash, the rubbish.
But I think it also shows you who are the real sellouts. Right?
There are
Talk about
black
who's
MAGA
selling
people
out the black
who
community, right?
criticize Trump, who criticize Republican leadership when it is warranted. I am one of those people.
I'm getting
cooked over
I
there.
bravely
But on
criticize
TikTok,
when it is
most people
warranted.
are with me,
I give
but
when
a
it
lot
is
of
warranted.
people
I
aren't.
give credit
Bro
when it is
faced the
due.
moment he
Balance,
realized what he
nuance,
said. I think it's also
impartiality,
important to note that it was the first thing that elicited a
unpartialness.
reaction from
Yes.
the agent, and you could see bro faced the moment he realized what.
Who's selling out the black community, right? I think we found him. So without further ado, let's go ahead and who's selling out the black community, right? Hypocritical. But I think it also shows you who are the real sellouts, right? When you talk about who's selling out the black community, right? I think we found them. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this.
Most of the comments on Instagram are against me. I'm getting cooked over there.
Rightfully
But
so,
on
you
TikTok,
bozo.
most
Rightfully
people are
so.
with me, but a lot of
Rightfully
people
so,
aren't.
people are
Bro
cooking
faced the
you,
moment
you
he
bozo.
over there. But on TikTok,
F you. You are a
And get
cretin.
into this.
most of the comments on Instagram are against me.
It is what
I'm
it is.
getting cooked over there. But on TikTok, most people are with me, but a lot of people
Those people
aren't.
who are with
Bro
you are
faced the moment
simpy,
he
are
realized what he
sheeple,
said.
benighted,
I think it's also
benighted,
important to note that it was the
robots.
first thing that elicited art. Bro faced the moment he realized what he
The
said.
people who agree with this
But on TikTok,
clownish
most people
are
with me, but a lot of people aren't.
delusional,
Bro faced the
deluded.
moment he realized what he said.
They
I
are
think it's also
are
important to note that it was
misguided,
the
led
first thing
astray,
that elicited a reaction
steered,
from the agent. And
Who's selling out the black
mentally
community, right?
enslaved.
I think we found them. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this.
most of the comments on Instagram are against me. I'm getting cooked over there. But on
You should
TikTok,
get
most
cooked, you
people are
bozo.
with me, but a lot of people aren't. Bro faced the moment he realized what he said. I think it's also important to note that it was the first thing that elicited a reaction from the agent, and you could see that it
Nasty
hurt.
work. Improper spelling.
Important to note that it was the first thing that
ELICIT.
elicited a reaction
This,
from the agent, and
this
you could
person
see
used
that it
the
hurt.
wrong.
The officer is
Yeah, this
white approval,
this
so he note that
this
it was
means
the first thing
illegal.
that elicited a reaction from the agent.
Illicit.
And you can see that it hurt.
This illicit
the
means
officer is seeking
illegal.
Important to note that it was the
Illicit,
first thing that elicited a
ELICIT, is
reaction
to
from the agent. And you
provoke
could see
or
that it hurt.
trigger
The
a
officer is
reaction.
seeking
To
white
elicit a
approval,
reaction
so
is
he
to
needed
to
hear the-
elicit a reaction is to provoke
see
or
that it
trigger
hurt. The
a
officer
reaction.
is seeking white approval, so he needed
Trigger
to hear
a
the white
reaction.
approval for it to sink in. The light in his eyes changing up.
Yeah.
He realized
Yeah, that, bro. That person was bugging for saying, putting ILLICIT in the comment, in the response. In the response, that was crazy. Yeah, but yeah, this, yeah. I will end this video by saying this. It is crazy to assume all black ICE agents are house N-words with no evidence. It is also wrong to assume that no black ICE agent is a coon